Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. The first story is called Mind Your Own Business. About 14 years ago, I went to work for a major petroleum company in Indianapolis. Over my 4 years there, I applied myself and gained enough knowledge to be more knowledgeable than the most senior guy. One day, stuff hit the fan, and we were looking at a potentially major spill. Because the packing in a pump had failed, nobody was doing anything, and I'm a take charge kind of guy, so I started barking orders. This would have been an EPA nightmare, so there was no time for niceties. The other employees went and complained, and I was called into the manager's office and was told about the complaints, that I just barked orders and didn't ask nicely. He told me that I did the right thing, and that next time, if it wasn't going to be a major issue, to give them enough rope to hang themselves. So the next time, I saw that they had the valve set up in such a way that 2 soap tanks for making asphalt emulsions would overflow, and while not an EPA big deal, it would bring scrutiny from the health, environmental, safety, and security decisions of our company. I mentioned to them that they might want to check the valve lineup, because something didn't look right. They told me to mind my own business. As it was time for me to go home, I called the manager from my car and said, "You should probably start heading to the terminal, because 2 tanks are about to overrun." I tried to tell them, but they told me to mind my own business. I didn't get halfway home before a neighbor of the facility came knocking on the door, saying liquid was overflowing 2 tanks. As the only first responder not involved in the incident, I had to return to the facility and supervise cleanup until the big guns from corporate came in about 3 hours later. All 3 were put on probation and then eventually fired for more screw-ups. The beauty of this was that after that incident, they were told to follow what I said explicitly and never again complain that someone doesn't say please and thank you in a crisis. They all hated me until the day they left. Why? Because I was the only person to take charge when no one else would. The next story is called Leave Me Alone. I work in an airport restaurant. We get a lot of very rude customers. We work hard to provide the best service we can under the circumstances. Working in an airport setting with unpredictable passenger numbers. Our restaurant is split into 2 separate cafes. Mine is the one before TSA. The one relevant to this is past TSA, meaning this is a passenger that either ran through TSA or came off a plane from the departure lounge. The kitchen staff hand-prepared trays of vegetables with a portion of hummus. One of those vegetables is sliced cucumbers. Today, my assistant manager, who runs the kitchen past security, came up to me and told me I needed to check the trays I had for sale, because they found mold on the cucumbers in their trays, even when they hadn't reached the expiration we have for prepared fresh foods, such as the tray in question. I subsequently put my trays, because they did, in fact, have mold on them. He came back to me about 30 minutes later. Back past TSA, a lady had bought a vegetable tray. Being the good assistant manager he is, he went over to make sure that it was a fresh tray. She didn't let him even get more than 1 word out before telling him, "Go away, leave me alone." Now, he isn't a mean person at all. In fact, he makes the most conversation with all the customers, more than the rest of our staff, including me. He took 1 look at the tray she purchased. It was moldy. He made a couple more attempts to try and tell her that her food had mold on it, so she could get a fresh one. To no avail. He's now at a loss and just lets whatever happens happen. She ate the whole thing, cucumbers and all, with 0 complaints. Just goes to show, when an employee comes up to you, hear out the employee, just in case they have something important to tell you. The last story is called Willy-Nilly Bully. This happened over 3 years ago. When I first started and my very first corporate job, there was a kitchen full of utensils. A fridge, an oven, a stove, and a dishwasher. A full-fledged kitchen for employees to make tea and coffee, eat their meals, and even cook. They said I can bring my own glasses and put them there, or use the company's. Also, there was a woman who was working in the kitchen. Let's call her Nilly, since she puts the rules willy-nilly like a bully. On the second day of my job, dear Nilly told me, "Let me remind you that no one should leave their dirty dishes in the sink." I was surprised by the claim. Since I am new and don't know a thing, I thought this might be her way of bullying, or it might actually be true. So I smiled and asked if this meant I had to wash my own glasses. She said, "Yes, don't make me repeat it twice, honey. Let me remind you, there's a dishwasher. If she isn't cleaning the dishes, her only remaining job is to vacuum the offices once a week and bring tea or coffee to chiefs, to meetings, and to managers." So I decided to gather information and rate on it. Apparently, Nilly has been working in the company for 20 years and knows the CEO. She knows how he drinks his tea, how he drinks his coffee, when he drinks them, what he eats with his coffee and tea. She knows all of it. If I know one thing, it is to never fight a fight with the person who knows how your boss likes his coffee, especially if you are replaceable. So a fight was not an option. I also learned that once a week, the CEO brings a bag of fruits to the kitchen to share in the company. Apparently he has a fruit garden and goes there over the weekends. And she would take fruits to her house at the end of the day. The old employees knew that. They would take 1 or 2 on that day. That's how I learned this. She said to me that I could get one from it, but it is hers. So I refused the first time offer, thinking she bought it. One thing you need to know about me: I look young and naive. I look dumb. Cue Malicious Compliance. From my desk, I could partially see the kitchen if I turned around. So on the day of fruit delivery, I was constantly checking the kitchen. When the CEO came in, I counted to 30 and went in as well. To wash my glasses, of course. I went in and said hi to everyone. This was my first time seeing the CEO. He said, "You must be new." I kindly and respectfully informed him who I was, and he told me who he was. I said, "Sir, I've checked the company before entering," and knew him, which he liked. After that, I turned to wash my dishes. He asked me what I was doing, and I said, "Oh, I was informed that all the staff has to wash their own dishes." At the same time, our Nilly said I must have mistaken that, while laughing and taking the sponge and glasses out of my hand. I said, "But you," as if shocked, and cut myself, as if realization hit me, and smiled like she was my best friend. Of course, I didn't stop there. I looked at the fruits. The CEO told me to take some fruits, and added that he brought them to the company so all the staff could enjoy. I didn't say anything, but from my expression, the CEO asked what was wrong. I said, "I always thought they were Nilly's since." Then I just smiled and asked if I could take a plate of them. With a huge plate of fruit, accompanied by a huge smile, I went to my desk and shared them with my team. I don't even like fruits. A couple of hours later, I went to the kitchen, and our dear Nilly told me that I had misunderstood things, and washing dishes was her job, and I shouldn't make this mistake again. She added that the fruits were for everyone to share, and I should have taken more if I wanted. I stupidly said, "Oh, I didn't know," and how sorry I am to cause her trouble, with a sorry smile. Guess who never had to wash dishes and had fruits to eat every day? Nilly would also bring tea and coffee to me from time to time. If someone she served did not want to drink, I would thank her with a huge smile and take it. Apparently, she does this to all the employees she likes. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.